Hi everyone. Today we're going to study proof by contradiction. Proof by contradiction is a method to prove the statement P by using the double negation law. This method consists of three steps. Step 1, we assume that not P is true. Step 2, find a contradiction. In other words, find that not P is actually false, which means the negation of not P is true. Then step 3, conclude that P is true. That is, P is logically equivalent to negation of not P. Let us see this example. Prove that square root of 2 is irrational. Our step 1, we assume that not P is true. Our proposition P here is square root of 2 is irrational. The not P correspond to square root of 2 is rational. So for step 1, we will assume that this is true. If square root of 2 is rational, we can show that square root of 2 equals A over B. This A over B must be in lowest term. It means there is no common factor between A and B, where A and B are integers and B not equal to 0. Further, both A and B cannot be even integers. Otherwise, the number 2 becomes a common factor for both A and B. Now, step 2, let us find a contradiction based from these statements. That is, let us find that not P is actually false, which means the negation of not P is true. What we're going to do here, let us square this equation. The square root of 2 becomes 2 equals A over B when squared becomes A square over B square. Let us cross multiply this B square to the number 2 on the left side. So that becomes 2B square. Or we can write A square equals 2B square. The constant 2 with a B square gives us idea that the square of A is an even integer. Since A square is even, it follows that A itself is even. Given that A is even, we can now represent A equals 2k, where this k is any integer. Now let us solve for B. Let us substitute this A equals 2k to the equation here. The 2 equals A square over B square. This equation now becomes 2 equals the square of 2k over B square. The square of 2k becomes 4k square. Now let us cross multiply B square with a constant 2 on the left side. So we will have 2b square equals 4k square. Let us divide this equation by 2. So we will get b square equals 2k square. The constant 2 on the right side is telling that the square of b is an even integer. Now it follows that b itself is even. It means we found a contradiction. Our computation here tells us that A is even and B is also even. It contradicts our idea earlier that A over B must be in lowest term. We can go now to step 3. We can conclude that P is true. Our P is here. So we say that, therefore, square root of 2 is irrational. This is our final answer. I hope you learned something from this video. See you again next time.